kama zile feri za Likoni. Niko manga ikoni, manze namba isomi, Mimi tuko mamishoni, kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, mteja patikani manze namba isomi, Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, mteja patikani manze namba isomi, Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, manga ikoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, manga ikoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, manga ikoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, manga ikoni.
Hits na mabanga like bang, roadblock imeja mambanga like damn. Switch lanes vile niliwaondokea. It's like we are the only ones rapping out here. Ghetto fabulous for 20 niko East Lando. They can handle us so than nime reach pado. Ni wakukamile design wa overdo. Usidai kubamba cruise kiza usilete udesperado. Hey, city to city, my ex wanna retweet it. Na nikifika scene lishageuka ni biggie. No nitty-gritty, check the analytics. Hata tukwe watano taga wana 50-50 family code. 100% respect, how it is bro. You try to sabotage, how far, how did it go? The stone that the builder refused. Now it's brick after brick, voice na biti confused.
Kila siku niko manga ikoni, mteja patikani manze namba isomi, Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, mteja patikani manze namba isomi, Hizi street daily tuko mamishoni, tunawabeba kama zile feri za Likoni.
Force na kosi inafanya wanawika woi. Si ati ni jokes, mi ndo reason rappers wa true boy. But of course, hizi pande wananita moi. Kumamake ndio manake na kuja visimple boy. Nairobi ni mahangaiko, ndio reason nimefanya sindi mavinyangariko. Pale Malaya huku wezi kila pande tuko. Juu ya pesa imefanya manze jiji ina vituko. Stoneface ni Kanye Rigichi, ikifikia ni bidii. Tunajituma tukikanyaga mpaka CBD. Na kumvuka TBT, hizi shida shigidi zilifanya mamoyo wakageuka mapididi. But anyway ni juu ya kukosa cheda na kadhalika. Tukiongeza na vitu kama meda masa imefika. Hakuna gede ya kulala my brother. Juu utazikwa ukishikwa ukipiga na ngeta.
Kila siku niko manga.
Good afternoon, family.
Patikani manze namba isomi,
Grand rising.
Hizi street daily tuko
Had a beautiful weekend.
kama zile feri za
New week.
Kila siku niko manga
1 minute past the top of the hour.
manze namba isomi,
The third week of January 2026.
kama zile feri za Likoni. Sikiza punch na kick ile tekea ya Njoroge. Bado na roga siezi acha hata waniroge. Nasikia Mombasa wamekataa kaveve kazozi. Man I'm still dropping these bangers in the city of Nairobi. Yeah, anako pressure kiwa studio na flex. Tunavuka boda mpaka tizi kwa kina Max. Pay me what you owe me brother, no more no less. Ngumi ni mbwex, anytime na pull up na jesh. Nikizaazaa tuko mtu kama dozen mbili. Kwa bloodline ina damu ya mekatilili. Usipojikaza mjini watakutumia we dada na braza. Chunga wapo wengi makatili. All eyes on me, bringing all this energy. Always make it pin, I've never been afraid of enemies. Melodies, niko ndani booth napiga harmonies. Tell these rappers they cannot handle this. Kila siku niko manga ikoni, mteja patikani manze namba isomi.
Yes, good afternoon. 32 minutes past the top of the hour. That is Asano featuring Caterpillar and Elisha Lai playing right here on the media of the 21st century. The name of the jam is Mahanga Ikoni. A big shout out to everyone who's with me on YouTube, BitChute, or everyone who's with us on the network and of course on Spotify, Spreaker. We are not on the radio trying to see if actually I'm connected or not, but I see that I'm not connected. So looking forward to literally our connectivity being put on. Bakaribuni sana once again. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. You had a literally relaxing, maybe productive, whatever how you choose to spend your weekend. Mine was fantastic, man. Can't complain. And I'm literally doing everything that I said I'm going to be doing this, and I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, and that's how we're starting the week. So karibuni sana. Today we have an interesting conversation. We're going to be talking about the Africa possibility, literally Africa as a continent, the possibility for us having a one military rule, and how can we actually do this? That is the conversation for today, and actually a conversation backed by what the achievements, I'd say literally, that we've seen currently happening during this weekend. That is in the Eastern Congo, where we had the Congolese army, and I'm not talking about the actually backed army by the IMF, the World Bank, by Rwanda, by Uganda, or these other African countries that are supporting the destabilization of Congo, DRC Congo to be specific. We're talking about actually the Congolese army, who they are not funded. I think there's a time I shared a documentary, and I'm gonna actually share a little bit of it from TikTok, where we saw that we have this group of Congolese army men who are not funded by anyone, but they have been able to take back control of some of the parts of the Eastern Congo. So we're gonna be talking about that, and of course, what is happening in the Alliance Sahel state, because very interesting to see how these people actually currently have many military police tactical vehicles, and I'm going to be sharing on that. We're going to also talk about what is happening, of course, or rather what happened during the weekend in Morocco. We had the Senegalese and Morocco AFCON match, and Senegal took it. But if you didn't watch the match, I'm here to guide you a little bit, not my show. Of course, you want to catch up with the sports show, and sure you do that with Kamlesh, of course, every from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., bringing you all the news and updates of what is happening sports-wise. But I'm going to be talking about it a little bit, because we know Morocco is a very racist country, and yesterday actually we witnessed racism in front of the AFCON, or the football match itself. Literally, you could see, and actually we could see the racism, and we saw the aftermath of actually Senegal winning what actually happened. So I'm going to be sharing some of those videos. Also, high show speed being shown actually a lot of hate also in Algeria. Remember, we had recently also some issue that popped up in Algeria, where we had the Patrice Lumumba, was it a statue? Let me call it a statue. Literally, that was one of the players, one of the fans had it on that is in the Algeria match, also in Morocco, but the match was in Morocco, and also Algeria was there, right? That was, I think, what was happening. The match was in Morocco, and Algeria were the guests, I guess. But yeah, what really happened, we saw the racism also being shown, literally, these people being disrespectful to the legend Patrice Lumumba. We're going to also talk about what is happening in Uganda. Museveni is now the president of Uganda. We're going to talk about our colonial systems, how police still treat our people, and a video that is going viral that has caused so much anger towards the citizens, and questioning actually our police officers training. So karibuni sana. Before I get into that, a quick reminder, get yourself our application on the Google Play Store. We have amazing organic supplements. I'd love to share some Brain and Focus formula, which is heavy on critical thinking, can help you boost your thinking, literally boost your metabolism and all that. So ensure you get yourself one of these supplements, not just ashwagandha, not just multivitamin. We have Brain and Focus, we have beetroot, we have CMOS, we have other more amazing organic supplements, and also some amazing apparel store, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, different colors, different sizes.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Affordable price. And of course, as we get straight to the conversations of today, once again, karibuni sana. This is the media of the 21st century, and my name is Joby. To everyone who's with us for the first time on YouTube, kindly do subscribe and follow us on that amazing platform. And of course, you can only get these amazing supplements by you also downloading our app on the Google Play Store, and you can catch other amazing shows either on the radio app itself, or rather the application has a radio, literally, where you can listen to the radio segment, rather catch up the shows that are on repeat on the show page. Rather better if you have an Amazon TV, Roku TV, Android TV, we are also right there. But as we get started with today's conversation, I'm going to start with what is happening with iShow Speed. Aisha Speed was in Africa, literally had a tour in Africa. He started in South Africa, went to Eswatini, I went to Zambia, went to Zimbabwe, came all the way to Kenya, went to Rwanda, came all the way to Kenya, went to Ethiopia, he went to Egypt, where he's been actually showcasing and opening people's eyes on the real African history, the real African love, the real African food, traditions, and cultures. And actually, because we do have traditions and cultures, literally. And when you talk about cultures, this is not the culture kid loves using every single time, like, oh, you claim you have your culture and all that. We have African people and African countries that still value African culture. And I do believe actually that is something that needs to be respected. The same way, actually, the way we've been heavy on, or when we had, I think, some group of people in Texas last year, was it Texas or where, when they couldn't believe that some people in America still don't go along or don't match the culture. I don't know, the Southern or Texas, can't remember, but one of the two. They couldn't actually believe why the rest of the Americans don't practice the same culture. So the same way, if I come to America today and I started disrespecting some of your culture, that would not be nice. So still heavy on Africa, yes, as African traditions and culture, and some countries or some people still practice on this, and this is based on respect, not on ignorance, not on, I'm very specific on the words I'm using because this is the true fact, not based on ignorance, not based on myths, not based on just the bullshit of traditions, but based on the real African existence and how we carry ourselves. So that is what I'd say we saw in Eswatini. And I speak about the respect, number one. I don't talk about the dowry part, but being shown how Africa we can still practice polygamy and how we used to practice polygamy and how actually that today is also impossible. I think we've discussed that a couple of times in many shows. Why so many men cannot keep many wives today is very evident. There's no generational wealth when it comes to the Black community, the Black people, literally not just in Africa, but globally. All our wealth have been snatched away from us. Last week I was talking about literally how leave alone the 1%, the 5%, the 90% being controlled, and the 4% of the puppets. I talked about how Africa, I don't know, the train of thought is kind of want to disappear. I talked about how Africa, damn, the train of thought literally disappeared, but we're going to catch it up literally and still go back and explain what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to start with this video, literally some videos going viral of course, Aisha Speed being forced to cut short his Africa tour, a live stream after an incident at a football stadium in Algeria where the fans hurled water bottles at him. Now, if you remember, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had Algeria, which was in Morocco, where there was a match between, I think, Morocco and Algeria. And then we had some Africans who came with the Patrice Lumumba. I don't know if it was the DRC Congo or Algeria in Morocco. Can't remember. I'm trying to figure that out. I think it was the DRC Congo match between Algeria, but they were in Morocco, exactly. And then we had one of the DRC Congo fan who had the Patrice Lumumba image up, literally in terms of a statue. And one of the Algeria player actually did some racist ass thing, like, you know, did something very racist and something very disrespectful towards the Congolese people, or literally mocking the Africans who were the Patrice Lumumba statue. But that was not the end of it, literally, because I think right now, and which this why I go back to also a video I shared last year too, we had a lady who went to Morocco, still actually, I'm gonna pull all those videos up. We had a lady who went to Morocco and she was very much disrespected. She was very, very disrespected because she didn't understand the country she was touring in. And that's why I said it's very, very important for you as an African, wherever you are, before you even go to other African countries, please stop the assumption that the love you receive in your country is the same as the love you're going to receive in these other African countries. And then based on the fact that we're not even taught true history of our fellow African countries, that is something that should be actually even cautioning us that we should yearn to learn more, the fact that it's not in our system of education. So let me share these videos of what happened in Algeria with the Aisha Speed. And of course, I'm going to share the videos of the previous incident during Patrice Lumumba. And then we go to yesterday's match. We had yesterday Senegal and Morocco playing the final AFCON game. And Senegalese took it. But before they took it, man, it was very, very chaotic. So these are some of the incidents of what took place in Algeria. Aisha Speed being literally disrespected.
I'm not even a rival. I support United. Wait. What the hell? Oh, hell no. We got to get out of here. Why are they throwing stuff? Are they clapping? All right, man. I'm like, let's see. Okay, I like them. I like them. I like them. Yeah, I like y'all. I like y'all. The stadium, massive. What? They throwing stuff? Ah, shit. Why they throwing stuff? Ah. Oh, hell no. What they throwing stuff? I'm not even on a rivalry team. I'm not even a rival. I support United.
Yeah, so I love the fact he said I support United. He's not even like, picking any side. He's not even on anyone's side. He's just there to like show support as a streamer and even show this game to also the people who maybe would have wished to be in Morocco but couldn't make it, because I've really seen so many people have traveled for the AFCON. That is the match between Senegal and Morocco. So many Africans, literally, I've seen some friends personally, my friends, some people have been there, and they were sending me videos of what is happening, which was very, very interesting. And the fact that I was also seeing that on the TV and people sharing that with me live, that was very, very interesting. But this is where we go back to also, we need to, I don't want to say he's ignorant. I don't want to say actually Aisha Speed is an ignorant person. But again, I go back to something Keith said. He doesn't know much. Like, I feel like he's not really, and just like the rest of majority of, or the percentage, let me say a percentage of African people globally, the way we've been miseducated about Africa and the way we don't also understand the fact that this is a continent that is supposed to be full of African people owning their identity, their lands, and living freely. Is still a continent where we have people who have been displaced, killed, genocided, and we have people who completely took over control of their country and they're comfortable with this. I.e., we have Egypt. He just went to Egypt. These people could not actually describe or even break down why the nose was missing. Literally, because they have to figure out how to lie, because again, they want to fit in so much in our narrative to feel like, to seem like it's them, that they are the superior beings of everything, but yet they're not. Because I go back to seeing that everything that these people are doing is on a spiritual base, but us as Africans, I think we take it like on a humanity level. For them, it's more than just power, identity, and spirituality. Like, it's like three codes, I think, for me, what I've picked up. It's about power, identity, and spirituality. When I talk about power, Africans' power has been completely lost. Identity, Africans no longer consider their identity, where we've considered these other people's identity more than we have. And then we go back to spirituality, where they have actually completely turned all our scientific knowledge to their own narrative, and it controls us.
Oh, Chad, what's this club? What's this club?
Sadly, he thought that these people actually, they were on his side, but they also ended up booing him and throwing bottles at him as well.
Okay, Chad, I like this club. Okay. Whoa.
Never mind.
Whoa, God damn. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. Oh, I'm out. Hey, don't throw water, bro. Don't throw water. Don't throw no water. It's at 5 o'clock. All right. So I'm about to leave, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, they on the camera. get out of there.
Yeah, so that is what was happening with Aisha Speed. And just to move fast forward very quickly to remind you what happened 2 weeks ago. We had the same match. We had a match between Algeria and DRC Congo in Morocco still. In Morocco. And this is what happened. We had one of the fans, or literally bunch of fans from DRC Congo, who actually came with the Patrice Lumumba statue, or I don't know how to call it literally. I think it's a statue. I don't know, you guys, I'm going to use the statue. It's easier for me to describe it. But yeah, they came with the statue of Patrice Lumumba. And of course, historically, politically, we know the history of Patrice Lumumba and why, as Africans, we should be proud of him the same way actually we're being proud of Ibrahim Traore. But this is what happened when these people did this.
Congo's AFCON journey has come to an end. A narrow 1-0 loss to Algeria knocked them out of the tournament. And while Algeria marched into the quarterfinals, the real storm erupted after the final whistle blew, because what should have been a routine victory celebration has now turned into a full-blown controversy, one that touches race and history. Remember the fan who stands like a statue through the games, who went on to become a viral internet sensation? Well, Algeria are being accused of mocking not just that fan, but mocking what an entire nation stands for. And this time, the spotlight isn't only on players, but also on the Algerian media. Our next report explains why this incident has gone far beyond the football pitch.
AFCON has been Africa's grand showcase to the world. A tournament that has delivered elite football, unmatched passion, and stories that go far.
They're not explaining. There's been a lot of racism. They need to be high. I love the fact that the headline says racism raw at AFCON, because that's what we've seen literally at all these matches from DRC to Algeria. I don't know how many other matches had happened between these two actually that have been famous, because the Algeria and the Patrice Lumumba statue, where we had the DRC Congo people who had the statue of Patrice Lumumba, is what actually made people realize that AFCON was, because not so many people follow soccer, literally only men. I don't follow soccer that much unless actually I have like fellow friends around. You won't find me like putting on my TV soccer to be playing. That's very, very rare. But do I love soccer? I do love soccer because I was also a soccer player.
You won't see me watching it ever.
I was a soccer player too in high school. So I do understand the positioning, the running, when you do a mistake, when you can be corrected. Like, I understand the faults personally because I've been on the ground, participated on the ground. But they're not talking and addressing the real thing, which is racism. Racism has been the most thing that has been expressed by Morocco in this country. And the Algerians, of course, we also have to look at the countries that are in Africa and currently that are not being controlled by Africans. We're talking about Libya, we're talking about Morocco, we're talking about Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria too, and which other one? I might have forgotten another one. Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, Algeria. Which other one?
Name the only. I would also put Somalia in there. I also put the mixed people up in there. Somalia and Egypt. I mean Somalia and Ethiopia. I put them in there too. And when they split it up, I would say Sudan. Like shout out to one black guy said the original Sudanese are black people. So all this all mixed you see. This is from invasion. Then you see the completely white people up there. They're not Africans. These are the people that hate Africa. These are the people that enslaved African people. They never stopped, because Africa, you never went to war with these people like you were supposed to. You're supposed to right that wrong. You never have. They still find slavery in Morocco, in Algeria, in Libya. You've never done what you're supposed to. You're supposed to, but the scripture says you're gonna knock them in the head eventually, because as the numbers dwindle, you're going to take back all of Africa. That's what's in the ancient scripture. So, hey, yeah, that's what I was telling Joe and Casey say. And the other Africans, and I tell Joe and Katie how racist they were, because of the bad educational system in Africa. You guys never were told who your enemies. People have always been your enemies. Mm-hmm. So when they see,
that's why I started with the Aisha Speed video of from Algeria.
Algeria, Yeah, that's what I told.
He was not
I said, yeah, he did understand because they said should have told him. I told him, I said before he went, I said, man, he shouldn't go. I told you he shouldn't go to North Africa because it's about to be racist. I told you that, and that's what he's getting. Because somebody should have been in his team. Should have told him he's only 20, so he would know that. Like, hey, don't even go there. Listen, no, you want to go to Africa? Don't go to them parts of Africa. Go ahead,
I feel like it's not even him to blame. It goes back to again.
no, it's not the man. He don't know. He doesn't know. He's only 20 years old.
Is the system of education being given, even leave alone him being a 20-year-old. Last year, I shared a video of a grown-ass woman who went to Morocco, and she talked about her being kidnapped in Morocco in her own garden.
No. That was Tunisia, Joe. She's in Tunisia. She's in Tunisia. The Black American woman. Yeah.
It's still the same, literally.
Same thing. Same area. Yeah, same thing. I'm just saying.
So I feel like it comes from a point of, again, the real miseducation, especially because for me, especially, let me say me as Joby, and without knowing the things I know right now, if today let's say I had money, let me say 2021, right, before I came to Blackout Fire, let me say at that particular point, before me knowing the things I know now deeply right now, if I decided I want to go to Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, or Egypt, number one, without doing research of understanding, hey, is this a race? I'm not even going to go look at, I don't even understand what racism is, number one. I didn't understand the term racism until I was here. And even if you approached me and told me, hey, this person is a racist, what's that? That's, trust me.
That's honest. See, that's how bad. See, so Joey's being honest. What's that? What is that? And that's so dangerous. That's so dangerous, African people. And just like Joey said, the same thing. Africans say we grow up, we thought like we were all in Europe getting beat upside the head, treated fucked up. We thought these people were our friends and our saviors. What?
I was actually surprised by the group of people I was with yesterday. They mentioned the term racism and Morocco being a racist country. I was like, God damn, I'm not even gonna open my mouth on this one to act like I'm smart. These people know what's happening, you know. Like, I was like, if you guys just support Morocco, I'm on your goddamn ass. But they didn't. They're like, now you know Morocco is a racist country, right? I was like, yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, you know. So if I go back to 2021, let's again. I was not exposed to these facts and the truth about my continent. Who rules Egypt? How Egypt, the Egypt story. And then we go back to animation because I grew up watching a lot of animations of the mummies.
And they kept showing everybody all white.
Exactly. So when you have the mummies, then I used to wonder what's up with these people just always wrapped up on some, like, you know, some cotton type of shit. And then now you come and understand actually who are the mummies and how deep this goes to Africans. You're like, God damn. I used to just see this as an animation. So if I went to Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia at that time, and someone cautioned me about racism, I'll be like, man, you're just a hater. You don't want to see me traveling. You just something like that. And then I go there and I'm hit by reality. Also, another thing is Africans don't come talk about it. I'm going to just showcase the images of what I took in Morocco, how good I'm traveling, how I'm eating. But I'm not going to come mention to the TikTok people I had a white person. Unlike right now in 2025, 2024, 2026, I'd say is when we've had people talking openly about racism in countries they go to. You know, it took time for Africans to get that confidence to come, you know, hey, this person is treating me this way. And thank God to digitalization, I'd say people are using their phones to just do some shit, I'm recording you. And that shit will go viral very quick, you know? So it goes back to just miseducation of Africans, the continent. We're taught that this is our continent, but we're not taught that this continent, some parts of it are not controlled by our people. And actually, we as a people of Africa, we're not allowed in these places. Like Tunisia, we had the president openly, boldly saying, I don't need no Negroes in here. So that's
how they all feel. Morocco, and Joey's right, because I was teaching outside, teach the more, and he knows it now. But you're right, the more because he didn't understand that either. I tried to teach him about Morocco. He couldn't. I said, the more these are not Africans. They don't like you. Okay, let me be honest with these people. Invaded. If you never been taught this. You see those people up in Northern Africa? They're not indigenous to Africa. They invaded Africa and killed African people. They displaced the Africans that were originally there. They murdered them and enslaved them. That's
I
why
don't,
you see it.
I
Good.
don't want to I don't want to tell Demoris I'm truth, but at the same time, I'm not in a position to judge because I don't
He
know if
knows it. He knows it now. See that?
yeah, but I heard you mention something. You're saying, he's being treated well. Well, white people are gonna treat you well when they have
Um,
something to benefit from you. Oh, yeah.
of course, Joe. It's not exact. Of course, it's also because he's been treated special because they don't want an incident because they give him a scholarship, so they're trying to kid gloves, right? So yeah, but he's been he took. Yeah, but like I said, he goes a couple of countries north. That's Russia. He knows that. He already knows. He's been in contact with all. He knows they're racist. I had to tell him. He got his experience. I said, I told you, right? He said, yeah. The arrogant, they talk crazy to you. I told you. I said, don't be surprised by it. Don't be surprised.
But yeah, so we had Algeria. That was 2 weeks ago. I don't want to continue with that, but we also saw the incident, how they were so disrespectful to the Patrice Lumumba statue and the DRC Congo fans, and that went viral as well. So yesterday we had Morocco Senegal match as well, and the racism was so on our face. Very much on our face.
So I'm gonna let Job explain. I don't know because only time I know is that Senegal won, and I remember at least the Africans, they didn't want any Arabs to be the goddamn referees because they always cheat because they're racist. And so even though they tried to cheat, I heard they tried to cheat in that game, and Senegal still won. But the Africans knew they didn't want no Arabs as no damn referees because they cheat. They're racist. That's their natural. That's what they are naturally. Go ahead, Joe. So what happened?
Yeah, so this game started at around 11 p.m. I was still very much up and with my friends. Yeah, I was not around, but we were watching this game. So when the game started, number one, Senegal had a fast shot, and the referee and I don't know how they call the RV. I don't know the RV, the VR, the VR refused the goal. So Senegal was actually having 3 scores, but Morocco kept on denying all these scores, literally. Then they kept on, they used a laser, because there are videos and images circulating currently online. They're using a laser torch on the Senegalese keeper, so that he wouldn't be able
to see. So he couldn't see. So the audience used a laser to blind him when Morocco went to try to shoot a goal, so he couldn't see. So they. It's crazy, boy.
So I love what really happened is that there's a time where I don't know what really happened, because at that time I started falling asleep literally. Then one of my friends was really super loud, so he was the one actually directing the whole football in my sleep because I was listening but still. So I don't know, one of the Senegalese player literally, I don't know, alitega kutega inaitwaje. I thought it's kutega in English. God damn it. Hold on. What is kutega? Like literally made one of the Morocco player fall down. I don't know what to call that. Yeah. But it wasn't like he fell himself. But again, white people being Arabs, white people being white people, racism applying to who they really are, they ensure that actually Senegalese is going to give them a penalty. So they wanted to get a free goal. But the keeper was very much, again, them using a laser, he managed to catch the ball. So when the Morocco people are given actually a penalty, the Senegalese people say that this is so disrespectful, there's a lot of racism, and they walked out. Respectfully, they said, we'd rather end the match, and they walked out of the field. That is what happened. They walked
finally, the Africans just finally understand, don't let no one disrespect you. Integrity, finally. I ain't no good for them. It's crazy.
Yeah, because the video kept on repeating, like, this guy didn't literally push this guy to fall. He fell himself. Like, they're looking for a way of them getting just free penalties.
Yeah, they look a way to cheat, Joby. They look at cheat. Listen, white people can never beat black people athletically, Joby, ever. Exactly. So they got to cheat. That's what they do.
So, this is one of the videos that when they walked out and one of the players had actually go encourage them to come out because they'd say, "No, we're not playing. This is the end of the match." Literally.
Of all the incredible things that you can do when you have success. Alhaj Juf a word to Sadio Mane. Alhaji Diouf, the first Senegalese player to win African Footballer of the Year. Yeah. Sadio Mane has since won it twice. But this is
so he's one of the greatest players literally on the group of Senegal, and
the man who continues to prove as well, and I think he's going to go and fetch his teammates from the change room.
Yeah, that is.
He continues to inspire, and he continues to remind us that value doesn't lie in titles, it doesn't lie in money, it doesn't lie in applause, it lies in the courage to rise from the humblest beginnings and carry.
It lies on respect. Whatever that commentator is saying is such some bullshit. Literally, this lies on respect, and that is what Senegal showed. We're not gonna take disrespect just because you're some bunch
Exactly.
Actually, if you look at the videos on social media, which I bet you'll find them on TikTok, the harassment, the goalkeeper, like there was so much harassment going on still when the game was going on. You're like, God damn, all this was going on? All this? Like some other people trying to take a people's towel, other people trying to beat up the Senegalese players. The Senegalese were beaten, like super beaten by those Arabs, like the security system. They were beaten, like it was it was chaotic.
As many people along with you on your way up.
I think Sadio Mane is a hero. He's an example that people could. It's an example that people should.
And shout out to the coach as well, because if it wasn't for the coach, they would have also, because there's some coaches who are ball suckers. If you know, like
of course.
It is because of the coach actually that they walked. It was like, now we're not taking this disrespect. Let's get out. Come on, let's get out here. You know, and that was really, really awesome. Like you can take the cup, but we're not gonna play an unfair game.
Exactly. It's showing Africans. You don't show the Africans father. You don't take disrespect. You don't let me talk to you crazy. You don't tolerate this nonsense.
Exactly. So shout out to literally that match. Literally ended up being an amazing match towards the end. Senegal took the cup, and we were happy. As much as some of our Senegalese people were beaten, we're still happy. The Moroccans must be mad, like they must be literally hating on this calling us all type of monkeys. You know?
Of course.
They must be really, really mad. But as we move away from that, we have Museveni who declared victory this weekend with 80% victory on his vote. we had our very own Ruto also congratulating and saying he has the audacity of involving Kenyans. This is what even made people very mad. On behalf of Kenyans. Now, Kenyans are like, which Kenyans? Number one, we don't even see you as a Kenyan, Mr. President. We don't see you as a Kenyan. I think you lost your way when you are in this country. They literally misunderstood you for someone else, then they gave you the presidential seat, but you're not a Kenyan because you don't align with the Kenyans' needs and decisions. You know, this is nothing to do with Kenyans. We don't want no dictatorship. And I love the fact that this is also opening people's eyes and seeing what is happening in East Africa, where, again, I said dictatorship is completely taking control in East Africa. For so long, we've been praising some of our presidents, but now we're seeing real dictatorship installing itself on boldly, not even without shame. You know, because some of the videos that have been going viral, some of you might have seen it, some of you might have not. Museveni's election, actually, some of the people were on a corner ticking him as, you know, to be with the majority of the votes. And then Bobby Wine was captured with military.
Of course.
Yeah, he flew away. But also speculation say that this is a game. Of course, he abducted himself for people to think that the elections are rigged. So this could be maybe the last term of Museveni. The next time we're going to have Bobby Wine. We have to understand these are all political games and mindsets that are setting on people. So you believe that actually, they don't want Bobby Wine in power, but Bobby Wine just abducted himself. Like he just did that shit on himself, you know. But yeah, we have Ruto who said on behalf of Kenyans, Ruto acknowledges Museveni's victory, and that was on a very huge statement he wrote on a congratulatory message to the country longest serving president, that is Yoweri
Country
Museveni.
longest president. That's how that exactly. That's how you know how wicked Africa is. Everybody knows Museveni can't win any damn election. They don't want him there. He didn't win the election. It's all fake. It's all false. Everybody knows Samia Suluhu Tanzania didn't win no election. Everybody knows Paul Kagame is not winning any elections. It's all fake and phony. It's all phony. We're going to
Yeah, but literally talking fake and phony, there's this guy who described, because immediately when Museveni was announced as president, I always love this guy's articles. Like, he's always so heavy on, especially these old leaders, because Africa, we have old leaders, and it's not just Africa. I think I bumped into an article which was showing Netanyahu's age, Trump's age, Jinping's age, Putin's age, the Ukrainian president's age. And the question was, why is it that this system is set up for us to be having people who already live their lives to be leading us, and now they're not even leading us. They want to destroy the young people who should be building the future of these countries. But that's not what they want. They don't want the young people actually to be involved on matters that are supposed to be building the future of the upcoming generation. Why is it that we consistently have a system that sets old people to be in this political system or leadership? You know, because that's a question that people need to be. We already have, like, it's like me saying, like, Museveni is our great grandpa, me and you, Keith, right? Museveni is supposed to have lived his life. He's supposed to be a retired person. So is Paul Biya. So is also Ruto supposed to be retiring. Kagame claiming the Gen Z's life and the rest. These people are not supposed to be in the political seats right now. We're supposed to be seeing young people who, and especially with the technology,
have new ideals and can better suit the country. Yeah.
We should be seeing young people coming with the innovation or being in the innovative spaces, you know, building this manufacturing system and companies. Like, our country is literally glowing and growing. Yeah, because our countries can glow. You know, we can be the next Dubai, having lights all over, not being in the dark. That's what I mean, literally. But they don't allow us to do this. So why is it that the system actually just allows these old people to be the ones leading us? Why
because
is it that
because it's comfortable. Old people don't remember, old people don't change shit. Young people do. System doesn't want change. System wants to be stable so it can keep stealing. Because system doesn't want a lot of chaos in certain areas, even though the system has put terrorism in there in Africa, so a place to keep that chaos. But there's like Tinubu's old and partially retarded, you know, just talk crazy. System likes old people there, Joe, because old people don't change anything. Old people are more reliable. You can control old people better because they're scared to die. Old people are scared to die because they're close to death.
Yep.
So you always want to put old people. That's why all these African leaders are so old. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So this guy says, when Donald Trump said that Africa is a shithole, he was unfortunately describing a reality that is a reality that
I'm sorry, Joe. Keep your thought. Let me interrupt, because even the Africans are saying, because they were going to try to put the African game in Nairobi. Other Africans say Africa, Nairobi does, and they all laugh like it's fun. They all know. They said Kenya doesn't have good enough roads to put no damn African in Kenya, because it take you 5 hours to get to the next place. You got to build no infrastructure there. And then these are Africans talking about each other. These are the Africans themselves. So there's no racism. They all realize that you Negroes ain't even built infrastructure. You Africans ain't built infrastructure. Because
currently we are supposed to be having a world class. Yeah, that's the term I was looking for last week. A world class stadium. But
you can have the stadium, Joey, but you got no roads. You got no roads to go back and forth to Kenya.
Leave alone the roads. I'm trying to give you now even the simplest example of why now Kenyans are even shaming, or Africans shaming now Kenya, despite the roads. We are supposed to. We're building. Currently, we have almost finished the biggest stadium we have in Kenya, and I don't know, it's supposed to be holding, I don't know, a capacity of how many people, but very, very big, because they say this is supposed to be, if not AFCON this year or next year, is supposed to be holding one of the biggest matches in Africa. But the Kenyans already were on Ruto's ass because of giving us some potty-like, a potty, the baby's potty, a potty-like chair. This guy promised us a world-class stadium with those, those flip, the cinema type of chairs that you flip, then you sit, those.
Of course.
But Ruto decided to give us plastic toilets, street chairs that we always sit on, to wait on a matatu. That is the same shit. That is the same shit this guy put. This is crazy. This guy put the same seats that we have on the waiting bus station on a world-class stadium.
Wow.
So leave alone even the roads. Nobody's gonna come on that stadium. The Kenyans themselves have said we're not taking this.
They said they're not going. The other Africans said they're not going to allow it because the roads are too bad. They did a whole thing, and these are just Africans, South Africa. These are all it should be some kind of shame, guys. You guys have been African countries. You should have built roads. That make no sense. Now, like even Touré and them said they weren't allowed to build roads. They've been supposed to speak independence, and Africa has no good roads. This doesn't make. I mean, throughout the not in certain areas. I mean, throughout the country, you were supposed to build a road network. It don't take 60 years to build roads. You should have put together like Burkina Faso them do. It takes them more than maybe 10 years. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. You guys got the goopy tribe. I'm not putting it in that area. That's not part of my tribe. What? You gotta have good roads in the whole country.
It's crazy. They're saying when Donald Trump said that Africa is a shithole, it was unfortunately describing a reality that far too many of our leaders have worked very hard to create, and it is one of the very few things that he has ever said that I reluctantly agree with. This man was elected as the member of parliament. Let me mute him. Remember this man who was Uganda's parliamentary member in Uganda, and he belongs to the ruling party of the dictatorship of the General Yoweri Museveni. He is 91 years old.
Yeah, look at this crazy. Look at this crazy. They tell you that's why they say, the Africans. This is what they use. The Europeans say, see, this is why the Africans IQ are low. The Africans can't ever build anything, can never develop, because this is who they put in the power. They say, this doesn't make any sense. How's this guy part of parliament? They say Africans have low IQs. Good.
They're saying that this is what's elected as member of parliament in Uganda. He belongs to the party of the dictatorship General Museveni, and he's 91 years old.
Exactly, the crazy shit.
The African Union are celebrating and congratulating. Unless you are a son or daughter of a political elite in Africa, do what I did. Go and study in Europe, America, or Asia, and build a better future for your children. For most ordinary people, Africa is a lost cause. There is no future for you unless you live in a genuinely functional country like South Africa or Namibia, or in one.
And I said to Southern, and that's sad because they'll tell you that because white people. And I said that when you go to Southern Africa, you see it's more developed than the rest of Africa, the one that these Negroes have control. They don't build nothing. They won't do shit right. They always got their mouths. I mean, they got their mouths on a white man's penis. I don't understand. Just disrespect and dignity would say, I gotta build some shit. How can I live in a dysfunctional country like this? I won't build nothing. Why? There's a problem, and that's how you know it's Africa. You can't say Kenya, can't say Ghana, can't say it's Black Africa. Because when white people control, you go to Namibia. Namibia is what? It's modern. Things work because black people don't control it. The white Joe we showed you yesterday, white people control all the land in Namibia. So it's developed. They're not going to be in a country. They're going to live and steal it and not develop. Go to South Africa. It's developed. Zimbabwe used to be very developed. So you understand these countries in Southern Africa are developed. They don't look like the rest of Africa. You're like Namibia's got, you go to Namibia. Namibia has great roads. throughout the whole country. We go ahead, Joe.
But yeah, let's continue. As we get closer to winding up, we have my main topic, which was talking about Africa possibility for one military role. Do you think we can be able to achieve this? Just a question to you, Kid. Do you think we can be able to achieve this, and maybe how soon do you think we can be able to achieve this?
I think it depends on as long as the youth get rid of the backward thinking of their parents. Their parents are tribal. As Africans learn to realize more and more that tribalism hurts them, doesn't help. So I think it's coming because I think unless they get able to kill the Sahel state, I think it's coming because that's the move. That's why you don't see no tribalism come out of the Sahel state. You got to get rid of that. So I believe I would say by 2050, Africa's going to be a different. Yeah, I would say by 2050, within 25 more years, I see Africa as just dominant. But during that period of time, your enemies are going to try to unstable you. They're going to try to unalive you. They're going to try all kinds of schemes to make sure you don't come back on top because of their hatred of you. Everybody knows these. I'm not going to want to see these projections. Everybody's agent. China will not be the power of this century. It will be Africa. As long as Africa, as Jimmy said, learns to unite, because you have all the minerals. All you got to do is just Africans lost their confidence when they got colonized. So you've been given a steady diet of self-hate over the last 200 years. Go ahead, Jimmy.
So as we talk about self-hate, I want to share this video very quickly and share a video of currently what is happening in Burkina Faso and how they have like military and police factual vehicles lined up on public. Like it's a lot, a whole lot. So let me share this video very quickly. Understand colonialism of maybe how it has, how do I say, how colonial mindset has poisoned our police officers to not understand how to become protectors of the people. Let me share this.
Najua some of you have seen this very shocking video of police in Nandi County wakipiga tu vijana wametulia tu kwa base ya pool, playing pool, minding their own business. Au makarao wanaingia na ubaya, wanaweza kuwapiga, wapi ID, but they have no interest in an ID.
And what happened?
The only reason they were there ni kuwapiga na kuwaibia. Now the truth is, this is a very common thing in this country. Every single day across Kenya, makarao piga vijana bila makosa yote. Makarao shika vijana ati hawana ID, which should not be a criminal offense. What about having an ID is a very colonial thing.
It is.
As your president, I promise you that you're going to reform the police. We're going to recruit vizuri and we pay better. Number 2, police should have body cameras. A body camera is about $500 or 70K, thereabout in Kenya shillings. You need enough money that we have as a country to ensure that when the police go on patrol, they have body cams to see the interactions with citizens. And every police officer, the arresting officer should actually have a record of how many people they have arrested, how many cases prosecuted, how many were successful, because police just arrest people randomly to extort money. Number 3, we'll give the police a union to fight for their rights, so that even them, they have rights just like we have as citizens. Number 4, police must live in the community. You work at Pangani Police Station, or Lamu Police Station, or Nandi Police Station, or Turukana Police Station, unafanya kazi kwa police station, unaishi na community. Ndio tujue kwamba wewe ni mtu mzuri na wewe si.
Exactly. So he's saying our police officers have a tendency, and this is a colonial problem left, especially.
The colonial system of listen, police and all that stuff comes from colonial era because white people are savage. There never were no police in Africa. That system of stopping people and arresting people didn't exist. Africa never had any jails. For all the matter how civilized you had to be, Africa didn't have jails. Africa didn't lock people up. You didn't have theft because Africans weren't poor. So you didn't have to see this whole system of policing was designed to keep the wealthy protected and make sure that the impoverished, or they call the peasant class, in checked. So they would be checked. That's what the police exist for. Go ahead, Joe.
So what we can see here, zoom the image bigger. These were some really grown men, like let's say the way we have a pool over there, Keith. Men there playing a pool, because in some places a pool is illegal. I don't understand how, especially if you're not giving the police money. That's always a problem. You're not allowed to be playing a pool. And if the pub,
they got a license, because I know in Kenya, if you run as a business, you got to have a like we have. You got to have a sports. You guys have a Kenya makes you have a sports license, a sports and gambling license to operate a pool table. So I'm probably most people don't got that. That's why the police come out and extort them.
Exactly. So it's such an incident, because I remember personally I was working like in 2020 in a pub. I've worked in a pub before too, and it used to have this type of a pool where men could come illegally play there, but when we see the police officers, they have to like sit down. It's like they're drinking, like they're not there to play the game, they're just like minding their business. I have to like close the pool table and all that. Like it was very dangerous. And the good side of me, or the good side of it, is because maybe when the other cops from another different location come surveying, but the owner of the pub's wife was a police officer. So it got to a point, actually, things got a little bit easy, I don't know how but they stopped disturbing me. Like I stopped seeing people pop in there, and the pool tables were just running and all that. But most of the people in this kind of condition, this is what they go through. You're gonna be found playing a pool, then the police officers beat you like children. You can see how the police officers are caning these men, grown-ass men, like
that's crazy. Just to playing pool. So ours is because they refuse to give a bribe. They refuse to. So, see that I did that. That's assault. Police are not allowed to assault you. Not supposed to be, but of course they do. Okay, then also.
To us understanding about these are the people who are supposed to be protecting us as a people, and also one of the reasons why you see we can't even have a strong military base. The people who are supposed to be involving them in these military spaces, they are very corrupt minded. They strive mentally to reasoning like a white man. If I don't put this sort of power of me beating you, showing I'm a police officer, you can never listen to me. It's crazy. And that's what Boniface Mwangi is explaining on that video. So many young people don't walk without their IDs nowadays, which is you must. You're a Kenyan, but you have to be walking with your identification card every single time, because a cop can arrest you. And if you don't have an ID, number one, it's a big problem. They're going to assume you're not a Kenyan. You are an alien in the country, and you're doing something that is illegal in this country. It's very, very crazy and very chaotic. And this is literally all
it's called dictatorship,
colonial mindset.
Rules. Yeah,
exactly. And rule. Now look at literally the people who are living freely, and according to the mainstream media, they are on a dictatorship. This is Burkina Faso. Look at Burkina Faso. If you look at our Kenyan police officers who are beating their people thoroughly, and what Burkina Faso has, it's totally two different people.
Totally different, because you got real Africans who've now thrown off the colonial system. They've thrown it away. That's why they're trying to kill them, and now they treat their people with respect and dignity, because it's actually controlled by the people. They've said no more colonialism. They've thrown it away, so you can't go beating with. So that's why they're under attack, because they have now got rid of a global system of wickedness. Instead of the white people put up, their systems are wicked. The evil comes from the minds of psychopaths. So that's what you got installed in all African nations. And so when you try to overthrow that system, the system comes for you. Because you don't see the white people getting beat nowhere. They're not getting beat in Kenya. They don't have no ID. Because they're white. Oh, I'm white. I get special treatment no matter where I go. Because I colonized you Negroes. But no. So the system doesn't want you to take back your dignity, your integrity, and your power. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, yeah, but literally gonna come to the end of that. But as we wind up on the last also main video that made me also bring this conversation, we had in Eastern Congo, Uriva, where there has been they have been liberated from the Rwandan occupation by the FADAK, that is the Congolese army. Now remember, we had a Congolese-based army that is not supported, funded
What
by
about the 23 rebels? Where they at? 23. They called what they called something 23. What about the Rwanda ones? What they called that?
the M23 rebels.
Yeah. M23 rebels. What about them? Where they at?
Those are the people who have been actually like chased away by now the Congolese army, because you know the M23 are the ones who have been literally, of course, advancing and taking control of.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So now the M23 have been driven out of those places that they stole last year. Then, that what you're saying?
No, we have a Congolese. I don't know if you remember. There's a documentary I shared and also shared last year. I shared it in 2024 and also last year, where we had the entry. We have the M23 rebels. We also have a group which is we have the M23 rebels, which we know they are very much funded by the US, of course, in support of Rwanda and Uganda. And we had a Congolese army, literally just the Congolese young people, men to be specific, and also some women who built, let me see if I can find the video. I shared it actually sometime last year, who built their own army, and they're not funded by anyone. They've been able to seize control of the region that M23 rebel was controlling.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay, exactly. I didn't know. Okay, so they're able now to seize back the area now that M23 was holding. Okay.
Yes. So this is actually one of the questions of maybe Africa has a possibility.
When did that happen, Joby?
This is this weekend, during this weekend. Actually, yesterday around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. there. That is when this.
Wow, I heard nothing about this at all.
Yeah, this is on the January 18th, where the Uriva, that is in Uriva, Eastern Congo, which has been liberated from the Rwanda occupation by the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, that is the FADAK.
Now, understand this, Congolese. The Rwandans and Ugandans who are controlled by by the Europeans are not going to stop those minerals, make them wealthy. They don't want. So you think you dance in the street, you're going to be stable? No, they're coming back. They're coming back. Because understand, Europe is impoverished without Africa. They're coming back.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping it up right there. Thank you so much, family, for tuning in. That has been my time with you guys. See you guys on the next program. That is the Rhythm Scoop Show. Not sure if Watton is doing a show. She's not here, but yeah, we'll see what's popping on the.
She's gone. Well, she's always gone. I'm not constantly giving.
She just walked out right now, and I don't think she's gonna do a show. That's the sign.
Again, I'm not constantly giving her transport money. Then just wait till you gotta come back and get paid. So.